of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now Wentz, a dump off to Sims. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. Call it a gain of 5. And it'll be third down. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
He was trying to get it to Zach Ertz that time. And fourth down coming up.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
And Frank's kick is good. And the Eagles, they take a 3-0 lead. And the first 3 points of the night belong to our home team as they get the field goal on the game's initial drive.
A good, solid drive. It didn't wind up in the end zone, but that's okay. You've got something positive on the board, and you've got the early lead.
They'll come out in the pistol. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The defense came out with a look that they had prepped for all week to attack. They took advantage, got the first down.
And the key words in there, prepped for all week. They really studied them, understood their tendencies, knew what they liked to do, and prepared their game plan accordingly. And boy, the payoff was good.
And able to get a couple as he's across the 40 to the 41. Michael Kendricks, the linebacker, there to get him down. Second down following the run. Here's Coleman. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers. And they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Now they'll throw it with Ryan. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. And he's going to get this inside the 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had to read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice game. And sometimes when you're watching a game, you can actually see drills in effect during a ball game. And what I saw there was what running backs call the gauntlet drill. We have to go through a series of defenders. We're going to hit them, poke at the football, make them bounce, spin, dig for extra yardage, the whole deal. And we saw it there. His running backs coach, he's got to be awfully proud of that run. You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On second down, here's Ryan. And he will take it on in for a giant touchdown. Sterling Shepard, a 5-yard touchdown. And the Giants are going to take a first-quarter lead. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Play fake here on first down. He sets to fire deep. And they was unfruitful. He was looking for Dorial Green-Beckham, and now it's second down. Blitz again here on 2nd and 10. And he will find his man on the outside. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Wentz going to try and throw on third. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the...
Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Back live with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Eagles with the ball here to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And not much of an opening there as he's only going to get this to about the 32. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
That's a down and distance coaches always talk about trying to avoid, isn't it? I mean, that's 3rd and long. And you just know they're pinning their ears back and coming.
So on 4th down, here's Ryan Quigley now to kick this one away. And this one's high, but not very far. That'll go down as just a 20-yard punt. And the Giants will begin this drive in good shape. 1st and 10. Here's the Giant offense now as they get ready to take over here. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. It's already 2nd and 12. The defense hoping to push them back more. Again, we'll see the pistol here. On 2nd down, Ryan going underneath. It's Coleman. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
Holding offense.
So oftentimes you see defensive holding. Here it's offensive holding for the flag. Now Ryan on 2nd down. Over the middle to Beckham. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down. So on 4th down here, Mike Tomlin says, let's just get 3. This from 54 yards away.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. The Eagles coming out as they get ready. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
And now off to the races down the right side. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. And look at that. I'd say somebody's already in mid-season form here in game number 1.
Doesn't need a whole lot of carries in the preseason, does he? He needs to get the ball when it counts. And when it does, he makes it count.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. Well, they try to swing it on left into the flat, complete, but really nice open field tackling.
And they played that one like a great boxer. They were on their toes on that one. They weren't back on their heels reacting to the play. No, they saw it, came right for it, and made a nice tackle for lost yardage.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to work his way down to the 16. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Wentz now to throw, and he can't bring it in. Incomplete. He dropped it on the crossing route. 4th down now. And for the 2nd time tonight, this field goal unit comes out here. This a 33-yard attempt. And Frank's kick is good. And that trims the lead to 3. It's 9-6 now. So the drive stalls out, but they are able to put 3 points on the board.
Yeah, just a yard or two shorter than an extra point, but no problems converting there.
Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And he'll weave his way up, all the way up, a few yards shy of midfield.
And that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
And now working their way back onto the field, the Eagles defense. And even though that last drive yielded points, it was a long field goal, so they probably weren't too upset about it. Although here, obviously, they'd like to give up 0.
Of course, that's the goal each and every time out. But when they make that type of a field goal that long, you almost give a little nod of respect to the kicker, like, congratulations. But you do feel pretty good about not giving up anything big.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can not give up anything big on this drive. From midfield now, here's Ryan. It's caught by OBJ. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. They were ready for what the defense was showing. They had prepared for that look, recognized it, went straight to the air, got the first. Well done.
Love the recognition because you can prepare for everything. You can watch the tape and put together your game plan, but you still have to understand what they're doing in terms of what they're showing and be able to adjust accordingly, and they did exactly that. For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Well, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. This guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage. The defense won that play so fast that I think if the running back even had time to notice if anyone was there, it was just a blink of an eye, and there was a loss on the play.
Coleman, and he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. A reminder coming up at this and every halftime this season, we'll be checking in with Larry Ridley in Orlando for highlights and analysis of our first half.
LR, that's my man.
That's your guy. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost, and they double their lead, pushing it up now to 12-6. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front 7. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Giants defense now ready as they trot back out onto the field. And they've got the lead. Last time they surrendered the field goal. We'll see what they do this go around.
And giving up 3 is never ideal because any defense wants to pitch a shutout. But that's not a bad thing in most situations. You only give up field goals, your team has a chance to win.
Yeah, and they still, as I said, they've got the lead here. We'll see if they can get a stop and hold them to 0 points this time. And quickly, they get to the line. On 2nd down, here's Wentz. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A good pickup there at 22. First and 10. Here's Wentz. And incomplete. He dropped it. Maybe a rookie mistake there. 2nd down.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
So the D-line's going to spread out.
Here we go now. 3-19.
Back to the air on 2nd down. Wentz toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Wentz now on 1st down. And he's got his man on the out route. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. He had time, was able to survey the field and find a soft spot in that zone coverage.
And that's where it gets difficult for a defender, Brandon. You go to your spots on the field that you have to cover, and when the offense finds an area that you're not in, that's where they throw the football.
Now Wentz, and he will find his man on the outside. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Wentz now on 1st down. Throwing left side here, and it's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Wentz to throw again. Can't find anyone open. To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the 1st down.
Was that a receiver? Yeah, actually it was. There's a running back who was a receiver on the play. I think he's been spending time in the receiver drills getting his feet down.
Well, those guys out of the backfield, they got to be good, agile with their feet. He showed the agility there with a toe tap.
No doubt about it. It's like he'd been to ballet school. Got the toes down and stayed in bounds.
A dump off to Sims. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll make it 2nd down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. And Frank's kick is good. And that will bring the deficit back down to 3. So a field goal here. They're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board.
Now a hit and a loose football. And they're going to take over right there at the 22-yard line. And careless with a football there on the kick return.
And one thing I love about going to practices is trying to get around coaches and hear their catchphrases and what they really emphasize. We haven't been to a single one yet this year where a guy fielding a kick, you don't hear, tuck it away, tuck it away, tuck it away. And this time, they turned it over.
Ball security eluded him. And that three-point tally now means we are even here toward the end of the second quarter.
And what a way to end the half. Put some points on the board, feel better about yourselves as a team.
Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. But they will not be able to capitalize as time has run out. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. On second down, Ryan to Shepard, complete over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And he will find his big tight end over the middle. It's a gain of 21 that time. And it's first down, New York.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
This is Coleman. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
To throw is Ryan. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now second down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it. No one got it. Coleman now. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
And the 8th play on this drive coming up. They'll run now with Ware. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First-level defensive line, second-level linebackers, third-level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first-level run, and it was stopped by a second-level player.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
On third down, Ryan. He finds Beckham complete. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up first and goal.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now Ryan. His pass caught at the 4. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. When you throw it this close to the goal line, usually you're thinking touchdown. Here they actually complete it but lose yardage.
When you're this close to the goal line, you have to anticipate that maybe you're going to see a defense that you can make a case that there's 11 in the box. There's just no room. So I'm with you. You've got to find a way to push things downfield a little bit. Any type of space is better than what we just saw there. And that end result, not one that's satisfactory to them.
Defense may be thinking pass. They come out in the nickel on third and goal. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's fourth down.
That was a statement stop right there. Now it forces the opposing head coach to answer this question. What do you do on fourth down?
And Godot's kick is right through. And they have regained the lead. So it's his third field goal now of the ball game, and they have needed his leg because this last one gives them the lead.
It's been a back-and-forth kind of a game, Brandon, but now you've got to tell your defense, hey, we need a stop here so we can let this momentum carry us through to the next drive.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So here are the Eagles now as they get set for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Now Wentz throwing on second down. And this is Ertz with it, right side. That catch good for 5. It's third down.
Got to give credit where it's due. Really nice defense on that play. The pitch and catch was successful, but not any run after it. 3rd and 5, so they bring in an extra defensive back.
Expecting pass. Now Wentz. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. Wentz, quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets this inside. The 35-yard line.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
He'll toss it out to Sims. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down. They come out here in the I. And welcome back. We are in the city of brotherly love, Philadelphia. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Wentz to throw on second down. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down. Third and long, it's Wentz. Finding time. A dump off to Sims. They pick up 10, but it'll still lead to a fourth down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations. And having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
And Frank's kick is good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
And New York set to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. This is
Odell Beckham Jr., the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Odell Beckham, 71 yards. And the Giants have broken our tie as they take the lead.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone?
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away, incomplete. Now that'll bring up 2nd down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Once again here on 2nd and 10. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. They only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And that is incomplete.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and reacted to the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man. That allows him to make more plays on the football like the one we just saw there.
Automatic first down.
They'll send Beckham alone to the left side. On first down, Ryan. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it's going to yield a new set of downs.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds. And
with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves his sticks. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
When a coaching staff sees their team run the ball this successfully in the 4th quarter, they're really excited because you can plan for a running game all you want and want to press that advantage when you get it. But for the most part, it's a little bit of a surprise. And right now, they've got to keep that going, want to continue to grind out the clock because it's definitely in their favor at this stage of the game. Can they close the game out and continue to do exactly what we just saw there? And that's run the football.
And lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
You almost hear the wheels turning all the way up here. Do I go out of bounds? Do I put my head down and try and gain additional yardage? In this situation, I probably would put my head down and just tried to get upfield. Going out of bounds did them no good, and they lost additional yardage.
On 3rd down, Ryan. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Gano's kick is right through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the 4th quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
And that'll carry over the... back line of the end zone for a touchback. First down, Wentz. And that's caught. Did he stay in bounds, though? He did not. Ruled incomplete.
That's a nice catch, but unable to stay in bounds. And remember, it wasn't a wide receiver who works on that all the time.
I was going to say, he likes to get the ball handed to him. Now, don't get me wrong. He's part of the passing game as well, but maybe a little out of his comfort zone there.
Yeah, he might want to have a few words to say to us about that later, but I am still going with you on that one. Wide receivers work on it a little bit more.
It'll be a 2-yard gain, and all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And the Giants will go with 6 defensive backs here on 3rd. Now a play fake. Wentz. He's got time. Great protection. And the giant rush gets home as down he goes. Olivier Vernon bringing the pressure again, and that is his third sack here tonight.
Well, how about that? A dime set on defense, 6 defensive backs. None of them blitz. They're just back there in coverage. Defensive lineman gets the sack.
That's where the O-line, they go to the sideline, they keep their helmets on so the cameras can't find them, right?
Yeah, the cameras can't find them, but I know one thing. The O-line coach will.
Now Wentz. He's got time in the pocket. Look at the time. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40.
We know it's tough enough to pick up first downs on third down plays, but when you go for it on fourth down, sometimes you're actually just praying, and on that play, the prayer was answered.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90. 51.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. Green Beckham has it over the middle. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Let's go. Blue 90.
To throw is Wentz. A dump off to Sims. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Back to throw. Wentz. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. And they're going to speed things up here. Now Wentz. And Matthews over the middle with a grab. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. Wentz to throw. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Wentz to throw again. Surveying the field. Still back there. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. They got to have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. Wentz now on 3rd and goal. And that's incomplete. Jordan Matthews, the one he was looking for. And that brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to get it back to a 1-score game.
And that was a nice play. He knocked it away, but obviously you want the interception in this situation. You want to take away any chance that they have any decision to make on 4th down. But things happen so quickly in the end zone in this compressed area of the field that you're just happy to knock it away and not allow a touchdown.
And this will be recovered by the Giants. And that ought to just about do it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They come out here in the eye. On the ground, this is Ware. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5. And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That'll be their 2nd, so one more chance to stop the clock here. And we'll be back. They run again with Ware. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable. But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
Gano now following the touchdown here to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3. And now the Giants will stop play as they take a timeout defensively. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So they complete the pass, and now they face a second down.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
On second down, here's Wentz. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. And now they're in the hurry-up. And now the spike comes with 15 seconds on the clock. Again, it's Wentz. He's going to let it fly. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. A great read, and it's picked off. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in week 1. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.